Greetings, 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 everyone. Dr. Akina Finch is here. We are getting ready to get started with this wonderful event. We're just waiting on Stacy to come in. Stacy Lynn Harp of Bible News Radio. It is getting ready to be fabulous. All right. Yes. Come on in the room. Hello, Tamara. How are you? Hello. Come on in the room. Yes. Hello. Yes. How is everyone? I see Stacy is here. Yes. All right. Let's tap on her real quick. All right. And there she is. Hello, Patricia King Williams. How are you? Hey, I see her.
There I am.
There you are. Hello. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, I gotta look over there.
Yes.
Okay. Let me see if I can put this. No, it's not gonna work. I'm not used to doing this on my phone, so I'm just gonna hold it this way. How's that?
Are you good?
That's good. As long as I look at the dot, I'm good.
Yes. Just look at the dot. That's all.
It's just taking me a minute to get a little reoriented. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share this out though here on Facebook.
Please do. Everybody, please share this out because we're getting ready to be talking about. This is a radio and podcasting guru. Do you understand? Y'all are getting ready to be talking to someone who has been in the game over 10 years. She is ready to give you some knowledge. So if you know anybody who is in the podcasting arena, you need to definitely put them on here right now. The radio arena, you know, she has done it and you need to hear about it. And especially if they are in the Bible arena, then definitely get on here because she is the queen. I'm just telling you, she just is. And so this is Stacy Lynn Harp. Stacy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Okay, I'm trying to determine if I want to swipe away the comments or what do you think? Do you think I should leave them or do you want to?
I'll answer. It'll be good. Yeah. So if you want to swipe them away, it's okay. I got them.
Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. I'm doing okay. I'm hanging in there. I'm really excited to be doing this, and honestly, I love you. Just saying, it's just an honor to, just to know you, and I'm just really proud of you for doing what you're doing. I mean, it's crazy, but it's awesome.
Yes, it is crazy. And that's sometimes you have to put yourself out there when other people won't. You have to be the voice. And I know you know about being the voice, right? You know about being the voice. So please tell us about, Stacy Lynn Harp and, of course, Bible News Radio.
Okay. Well, I am Stacy Lynn Harp, your sweet and lovable host of Bible News Radio. That's what, one of my audience members said that. People ask me all the time, well, why do you call yourself that? And I said, because, well, it's true. But also because somebody else said it, and somebody told me if your listeners brand you, that's how they brand you, that's how you should go. You should go for it. Unless, of course, they're haters, then you don't want to do that. But sweet and lovable, well, just saying. Anyway, I've done my show for, it'll be almost 15 years. And I started out as a podcast way back in 2005. I launched my company. At the time, it was called Mind and Media because my background is as a marriage and family therapist. And as God had it, I would basically ended up going from the world of therapy to the world of podcasting. And then it was about 3 years ago when Periscope launched that we jumped on Periscope at the same time. About 3 years ago, we decided to do some live streaming, and And now the rest, as they say, is history. And so I'm actually kind of on I'm kind of on a little bit of a mission right now to make to let people understand that live streaming has intense value.
Yes.
And that we need to get the respect that we are deserved. And I can tell you that in the Christian media world, they are so far behind the curve. I mean, the Christian media world is it's a good niche, but I have to tell you that they are like a decade behind. I mean, blogging is finally catching up in the Christian media world. So, I mean, and that's been around since 2005. It's 2018, people. Live streaming is now where it's at. True story.
Yes. And when we're speaking about live streaming and we're speaking about social media, that really took off because, at first it was just, oh, I'm going to post a pretty picture, or I'm going to post this, post that. But now you can really get in with your audience. You can actually bring them on now, as we are showing them right now. You can actually make those connections and put your information out there. So how did that truly change your promotions, because you are on the promotions panel, and how does that change your promotions once you were able to live stream and they were able to really see you face to face?
Well, for me, it actually gave me some income.
Wonderful.
It increased my income 100-fold because honestly, I wasn't making any money. And now I have a couple of advertisers that are paying me. And now I'm on your advice and the advice of other people, I have just launched where I'm going to be charging to do interviews. In fact, I just talked to somebody in Israel a couple of days ago, and they invited me to interview a guest. And I said, I wrote them back. I said, that will be $50 to do an interview. And they wrote me back and they said, well, I wasn't looking for an advertisement type interview. I said, well, I have expenses and you came to me, so that's my fee. And they said, okay, where do we send the payment?
Exactly. So you hear it here first. She is in the Christian industry. She is in the radio industry, and she's still making money, with her information that she's putting out. We should not be ashamed to make money off of the things that we do. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, the Bible says that a laborer is worthy of his pay. And it seems like, I don't know what it is, but there's no other profession that I've found personally that a Christian does that they say, oh, you shouldn't make any money doing this. It's only doing the podcast world. And I actually was telling a publicist today, I told her, I said, for you guys, I'm going to charge $30 because we've been partners for like 14 years, and they're like, well, I don't think the publisher is going to go for it. And I'm like, okay, then I'm not going to interview your people. If an author isn't willing to put out $30 to reach 12,000 people plus, I don't need to interview them. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's exactly why, I feel emboldened, because I know the value of my platform. I know that if people come on, they're going to sell their product. And I also know that I treat them fairly and I promote their product, and the archives are there, and nobody ever gets, hello, you don't get that with regular radio advertising. They pay whatever it is. And where's the archives?
Exactly.
So I'm a middle-aged woman on a mission to change the world. and I want other people to get emboldened and say, hey, you're worth the money, man. Plus I have the degree, like you, doctor, you have your degrees. You know what? There's zero reason why we shouldn't get paid for the work that we do. And we do it with excellence, right? You podcast and you do your live streaming with excellence. It's not like we've just started doing this. My husband and I produce a show, and people pay us to do it. So it's anyway. So there you go.
And so no, I'm glad you touched. A lot of times women feel like they shouldn't be paid, what they're worth. They think, oh, I should do this for free because I'm helping and this, that, and the other thing.
you.
And I want to commend you for that, because a lot of women needed to hear that you said claim your value. So, you know, in the industry, have you noticed that you don't get as many opportunities as a man would? Or, you know, what do you do to change that? What do you do with that?
You know, that's actually a really good question. And I'll tell you, sorry, I'm trying to hold this. I don't have an Archon mount, or do I? No, I'm just kidding. Hold on a second. My hand's getting cramped. Okay. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way I can put this down. But anyway, to answer your question, you know what's interesting is in the Christian media world, women are like the extreme minority. And in the 15 years I've done this, almost 15 years, what I've noticed is that when people, the viewers, the insults that I get from the men, I've never gotten an insult from a woman. It's always the men. Okay? You know, shut up. Keep your hair covered. Put the veil over your face. Don't say anything. You know, misusing scripture, pretty much. And I do it with my husband, which they also have the nerve to insult me when my husband's there on the show. It's like, you're an idiot. You know what? Just saying, you guys are idiots. But as far as like working with publicists and things like that, I've never had a problem being a woman. In fact, what I hear all the time is, you know what, our guests love you. You're one of the funnest people to be interviewed by. You're so relaxed. We have fun, and people just beg to come back. And I actually was trying to tell somebody this when I went down to the National Religious Broadcasters Convention this past couple months ago. I started record the after interview on my phone just so I could play it, because almost everybody said the exact same thing. And I was like, okay, here's proof. Now pay me.
Right.
Because you're not paying me for this. So now pay me. Okay, if I'm so great and your people are telling me I'm great, give me some money. So anyway.
Now, we have a lot of authors on here. We have a lot of people that are trying to get their businesses out and get them on radio, news, and things of that nature. Can you tell me a few things you would recommend them do when they're pitching to the radio and to the podcast?
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's a great question. One thing I would recommend is, first of all, know who you're pitching. If you don't know the host of the show, don't pitch them. Do your due diligence. Here's the thing. Never, ever, ever send a media pitch to a host of a show without, number one, addressing them by name being spelled correctly, because that will go into the trash bin. But do your diligence. Listen to their show. Find out what their topics are. I mean, I actually had a porn industry, true story, had a pornography industry who was launching a new website. It was a soft website, but still, they pitched me a Christian show in order to get the CEO of the porn website on my show. And I wrote the guy back and I said, you do realize that I stand against pornography and I'm not going to promote you on my show. And the guy wrote back, he's like, well, Christians use pornography. I said, yeah, and I speak out against it on my show. I'm not going to promote you, you knucklehead. I mean, it's those stupid things that people do. So know your audience, know who you're pitching, get in touch with the producer of the show, because the producer is actually the gatekeeper. Okay. So if you can't get directly to the host, go to the producer. The producer is the one that actually pitches the ideas to the host. And often the host of the show is also the executive producer, depending on where you're at. So, you know, you want to get in with the producer, you want to get in with the host, know your stuff, offer some value to them. Don't go in there and go say, hey, you know, I'd be a great guest for your show. Tell them why you'd be a great guest. Tell them the value that you're going to offer their audience, and make sure that you have a message that you want the audience to take action on, and not just buy your book. Buy my book because I'm so great. No, don't do that. Go in and say, hey, you know what? Let's say you're a financial author go in and say, hey, I want to teach your audience how they can save, 10 tips on how to save money during the holidays, whatever it is. And then offer that as what you want to give. Be a giver, not a taker. That's the ultimate thing. It's not about you, it's about the audience. Are you still there?
Yes. I was just listening to you. Yes, we're good.
Okay. Because your screen is frozen on my end, just so you know.
Oh, okay. No, I'm still here. You just keep going.
Okay. Yeah, so did that answer your question?
Oh, yes, definitely. So what would you say to someone who is just starting out and they want to get more exposure? What would be the best tip to get exposure for a new starting business?
A starting business or a starting podcast?
Either one. I mean, most people, the new starting business who would come to you for advertising, and then a podcast who is brand new. So yeah, we can address both.
Okay. Well, for a podcast, I would suggest live streaming. And the reason I suggest live streaming is because it's super easy. And as you know, Aikina, it's the know, like, and trust factor. If people see you, they're going to look in your eyes, right? They're going to look into your eyes. They're going to see your countenance. They're going to be able to tell if you're a scoundrel or if you're lying or telling the truth, if you're genuine. People want authenticity. And they're just going to be able to connect with you better if you're on video. The best thing to doing that, though, is if you do video, then you can archive the audio. You can take the archive, you can rip the audio and put it up on a podcast. So you're repurposing your content. You can get it out farther that way. And of course, it depends on how often you want to do it. There are different providers out there. I use Spreaker. I used to use Blog Talk Radio, but they're so big and you can get lost over there. But and then of course Spreaker pulls it into iTunes, so you can get into iTunes that way too. It's really easy to do it, to set it up. It takes a little bit of time, but it's not hard to do at all.
Okay, and so what about a business who is trying to pitch someone like you for exposure? What is the best tip for them?
Well, again, they got to know who my audience is. If they're pitching me, then they need to know what I do. What my main focus of my show is. If somebody comes in and says that they're a flower shop and they have, they want to sell flowers, one of my first questions would be, do you have an online website where people can order flowers? because I'm an internet show and I'm internet based, so there's certain things, that you just have to use common sense, say, hey, you know what? I have this product. You want to make sure, at least for my show, that you have an internet presence, because that's where I'm going to drive my traffic to your site. Or make sure you have social media too. Because then my people will want to follow you on your social media. So those two things are kind of important, I think. And then of course I would ask them what their budget is, exactly what their expectations are as far as how social media and my show is going to meet their benefit. And I think this probably better than me. People expect social media to pay off instantly, and no advertising actually pays off that much. So they have to understand the value of my audience. And anybody that does live streaming, people who watch me trust me. They trust my recommendation. So if you turn out to be a flake and you have, you wrong me, then that's going to look bad on me. And my audience is going to get mad at you. Right. You know what I mean? So you have to be somebody who's going to not only understand what my audience wants, but it's my responsibility to do my due diligence, just like it is yours to find out, like, if you agree with what I stand for on my show. You know, if you don't, then don't advertise on my show. You know, I mean, there's common stuff like that. And I only say this because I've had people who have actually refused to advertise with me in the past because I speak about controversial issues like homosexuality and abortion. Those are two like hot button issues, but those are two of the hottest issues people tune into my show. So if you don't like to be associated with that, that wouldn't be a good fit for you on my show because I'll talk about that stuff. So it's just stuff like that that they have to take into account.
Very good. Very good. And so as we're wrapping up, I first want you to tell them how they find you. And then I also want you to tell them what they should look forward to seeing from you at the Social Power Summit.
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me to be a part of it. I'm totally honored. And I'm on the panel. I'm on the promotions panel. I know what you asked me to talk about was how to land an A-list guest, which is super easy. It's easier than you think. Just so you know, it's super easy. I launched. Well, let me just say this. I actually landed Amy Grant as my first A-list guest. And I can share that story. I'll probably share that story at the summit just because it's so funny how I did it. And anyway, and the thing is once you can land a guest like that, if your desire is to grow your show and stuff like that, the door will open. And I did that in 2005. It's 13 years later. It's way easier to get access to to bigger names than you would actually think. So that's one of the things I'm going to talk about. You can find me at Bible News Radio here on Facebook, also YouTube, BibleNewsRadio.com, also Twitter, Instagram, everything is Bible News.
Well, thank you so much, Stacy, for being on here and talking about what you're going to be speaking about at Social Power Summit, and of course, all the lovely things that you do on Bible News Radio. Everybody go to BibleNewsRadio.com and you start following Stacy on all her social media handles because she is the bomb, I tell you. And she's like me, she's a straight shooter. So if you love me, you're going to love her. We get along great. We're both Libras, so we're going to give it to you raw.
That's right.
That's true,
and,
right? And you know.
And we're going to celebrate.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, and we're going to celebrate your birthday, which is super cool because mine's right after it, but we're going to get to celebrate your birthday. So everybody needs to come to celebrate Ikina's birthday.
Yes. September 14th. Our mixer is now my birthday party. And so you can come, bring your party outfits, and after you learn a little about social media, then you can get your have fun, and then we can get back in there on Saturday and finish that thing out. But we are going to truly connect, make friends, make connections, lifelong connections, because that's what we do on social media. We make lifelong connections. And that's what you're going to do at socialpowersummit.com. socialpowersummit.com. Come get your tickets. We do have the VIP, the general admission, and of course our day passes for people that can just spend a day with us. We don't care how long you're with us, as long as you're with us, soaking in this great knowledge and meeting these wonderful people. Hello, Dr. Mr. Weaver is online. Awesome. She's so wonderful. So if you are planning on coming to the Social Power Summit, you can get your room, you can get your ticket, everything on socialpowersummit.com. And then definitely come because Stacy's husband, Randall, is our video sponsor. Chapel Hill Media is our video sponsor. So definitely go to chapelhillmedia.com as well and get your video needs met. So you get two for the price of one, right? The Harps are going to be in the house, so definitely connect with them. You will not regret having them in your corner. I just say thank you so much, Stacy, for being a part of the Social Power Summit and the interview series. I just love you.
Yes, I love you too. And don't forget, we're going to have you come on Bible News Radio. We're going to have you interviewed about it here on our show as well. And then, of course, we can hug each other again. And then everybody there at the summit, I get to hug all of you too, just so you know, you've been warned.
Okay. Yeah, she is a hugger. She is a hugger. So you've been warned. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Please share this out. If anybody needs those tips about podcasting, definitely get with Stacy. And she has other products and services along that line that could really help you out. So if you are in need of social media or podcasting or radio assistance, Stacy Lynn Harp is your lady. So until next time, bye.